Today, I want to go over how to back a Kickstarter campaign, also how to use the platform if you are a backer. You're looking to support a campaign or you've seen something really cool and you kind of want the know-how of how this whole thing works. This is the video for you. So first of all, you need to create an account on Kickstarter. You can go to kickstarter.com and you'll start to see some of the different projects here that are available on the homepage. The homepage really is just some of the projects that are trending, some of the ones that are new or that the actual staff likes. If you've already backed some projects before, they might also be recommended for you here like they are for me. So I'll just open this here. We can check a look at that one in a second. But the main thing I want to draw your attention to are some of the different categories that are here on Kickstarter. Depending on what your interests are, you might be interested in some upcoming independent films, indie films that are created by people who are really hardworking, and they might have made an animation, they might have made a kind of a cartoon style film, or something that's a little bit more independent in nature. You know, documentary. You can see here some different ones when it comes to documentaries. This one looks like it's another documentary there. If we scroll here, you can see a movie, a musical, so a lot of different ones, and they're categorized here. You can see on the left by taking off, some that are in their home stretch, meaning that they're nearing the end of their funding amount. You can see the little green bar there that indicates that they're near their funding amount, and then some educational information at the bottom there. So if you want to, you can explore a little bit more into the actual category, and you click here, explore film and video, and that will go into this discovery tab. And the cool thing about this is not only can you look through the projects on Earth on this planet, but you can also go by region. So let's just say we want to look at the film campaigns that are in New York. And we'll search here. So New York. This is going to bring up all the video and the film campaigns that have launched that are or the creator is housed in some way in New York City. And there's not any specific kind of sort. So we have some that have only $1 pledged, some that are $4,000 pledged, etc. This one we saw the animated one that's almost at the funding duration timeline, which is 3 days to go. The other thing we can do here, if we go back, we unsort that by Earth. We can do a little bit broader locations, like, you know, let's just say Europe or Australia. That's going to give you all the ones in that country. So we can get a little bit of sense of that. But the other thing we can do here is we can sort it by different sorting mechanisms. So magic is different from popularity, which is different from newest, the end date, most funded, most backed, and some of the ones that are near you. So just for interest, let's look at the ones that have been most funded on the Kickstarter platform. Now, most of these are going to be already finished. You know, this is kind of like the history, if you will, that have happened before. So we got one here by Spike Lee, by Zach Braff, Eric Falconer, lots of good ones here. Bill Nye the Science Guy. If you're interested in some of the bigger names out there and the movies that have been funded on the platform, you could go and check that out. You know, Veronica Mars, she almost had 100,000 backers. That's pretty incredible. Or you can go and you can look at the ones that are, let's do the end date. So the ones that are ending pretty soon and that are going to close their funding. So this is really your last chance to get in if you want to. Now, some of these don't have any funds pledged. Like this one has £1. This one has 111 euros. This one has $36,000. But this just kind of gives you a sense of some of the projects you can jump into that are about to end, and you can actually make a significant impact on it, right? So the way that Kickstarter works, the only time that your credit card is going to be charged when you support a project is if the campaign successfully hits its goal. Now, if a campaign doesn't hit its goal, then your credit card isn't going to be charged. You could give money to this project, but your credit card won't be charged because it's all so far from its funding goal. There's already 15 hours to go. Very unlikely that that's going to hit its goal. So you're probably not going to have your credit card charged. With this one already surpassed its goal 108%, 20 hours to go. So this means that if you support this project, that it's actually going to happen. It's going to go forward. Your credit card will be charged and you'll be able to claim the rewards for this particular project. Now I'm going to go into the project level in a little bit, But that just gives you really quick example here. So this one already has 200 backers, a little bit more than that, 20 days to go, nearly $2,000 that have been raised, and some of the cool rewards that you get at the bottom right. And you can watch the video pitch there to learn a little bit more about what this campaign is raising money for and why this documentary is so important. Now, going back here, I just want to also go through some of these other ones. So, like, for example, the newest, those are the ones that are going to be most launch popularity, and Magic is a little bit different because Magic takes into account other factors. So Magic is going to be like Kickstarter We Love, the ones that the staff likes is going to take that into account. There's going to be some other variables there when it comes to the Magic sort. If you're just looking for pure popularity, though, that basically trending, you would find it here. There's this one cool white dragon. Looks like this one is almost at $200,000, and that's a science fiction project. This will give you an idea. We can also go here on the upper left and see some of the other projects that are trending, nearly funded, just launched, upcoming, the similar starts that we have, backed by people that I follow. So if I create a user account and I'm following other people, you can see some of the projects that your friends are interested in. You can also go a little bit more deep into the different sections: gaming, music, publishing, film, design, and tech, as well as some of the other ones on our radar. So like DIY, affordable art. These are kind of more niche cultural categories where there's a little bit of a community around it, right? So a community around robotics, a community around RPGs, obviously, like DIY. This is a little bit different than just the strict categories that you might find on Kickstarter. So for a second here, let's just go to technology, because I really like technology. And within technology, we can go to all technology. We can go to gadgets. I think gadgets are really interesting, as are wearables. So I'm going to go to gadgets right now, and we'll check out some of the ones here. So again, this is based by projects on Earth, and you can see some of the cool gadgets that are funding right now that already have hit their goal in some cases. This one's kind of cool, an air filter powered by moss, coconuts, and NASA's favorite sheep. That's really interesting. I just want to watch the video just by hearing about that. This one looks interesting. This is an incredible UV self-cleaning toothbrush. That sounds pretty neat. Portable watch. So the way that I would think about this is like you can just go on this and spend an hour and like discover lots of really cool stuff. This is like really new projects that are coming out that you can not only support, but you can in most cases get an early copy of it. So I'm going to open up this in a new tab. We'll talk about that in just a second. But the other thing here is like we can look a little bit more and we can go more granular if we wanted to into, let's look at all the projects. Let's, for example, that have a goal that's between $1,000 and $10,000. We want to help sort of the micro creators or entrepreneurs. We want to do the ones maybe that are over $1 million. We want to go into the ones that already have raised 75%. So they're pretty good likelihood to happen, and we want to make an impact on that, right? So there's a lot of ways we can sort this in order to find really neat products and projects that are freaking cool, man. And what I love about Kickstarter is you can also watch these videos and get a pretty clear sense of the entrepreneurial team behind it, right? And also like what this actual product looks like. Like I'm not having it on sound here, but you can see the effort that actually went into making a unique pitch for you, and you can get a look and feel of what the product is like. Usually there might be some humor in the pitch. There might be some personality in it depending on the type of project. Sometimes it's really just it's more so focused on the actual product, but that gives you a really clear sense of what it is, this thing is. You can go and look through this campaign page and get a sense of how this works, right? And what these people are raising money for, why it is that they want to do a project like this. And also you can get one here. Looks like there's 5 left of this early bird 1X Lumino brush. So this would be a early bird. There's 5 left of those limited, or we can get 2 if we wanted to. This is kind of like the basic bare bones layout of most of these projects. But if I was to close this one, let's look at this animated film. I have this external plugin. This doesn't come on Kickstarter. This is part of KickTrack, which is another tool that we can talk about at another time. But as a backer, you can see on the right here some of the other stuff that you could support it. So you could support at the $5 tier, the $10 tier. You can see some of the stuff that you get. You get just the basic ingredients, a link to the movie when it's done, a heartfelt thank you and support. So this one looks like it's a animated journey. I'm going to we'll just take a quick look at this video. So this looks like it's raising money for an animated film or short film. And you have the team and the cast there. They're talking about the project and kind of what goes into it. That's really neat. You can see the updates. These are kind of like the things that, the news, if you will, related to the project. So they just said they are already on track and are 84% funded, which is really cool. You can comment on these if you want. You can look at some of the FAQs. You can also be a part of the comments there and ask any questions that you got related to the project. You can see where those people are backing it from. So this is extremely transparent. Like, we can just go to this community tab here and see, look at all these people that are supporting this project. Some of them are returning, some of them are new backers. I love Kickstarter because it's so transparent. Not only can you get cool stuff like cool gadgets and gizmos and film and comics and support indie creators, but you can also do it in a very transparent way. So here's another example. Galileo. This campaign is a little bit over 300K, and it looks like it's a charger of some kind. It's pretty small, as you can see there. Really nice GIF going into some of the functionality and kind of what it does. And you can get a really clear sense of all of the hard work that went into this campaign, as well as the actual price there. You can see you get one. This is the Kickstarter special. You get $74 to have one of these. And again, this is only going to charge your card if they surpass their goal. In this case, they did, right? But for this one just barely surpassed the goal. And the other one we were looking at was about, I think, 84% of the goal, if I remember right. But my favorite part of Kickstarter is just hearing about the stories of all these incredible artists. And like, if you're more interested in that kind of stuff, you can go even to the bottom here, looking at the Creative Independent or Kickstarter magazine, and you can get a sense of some of the cool stuff that's happening here, and some of the ones that the actual staff is highlighting, right? So this is a growing resource of emotional and practical guidance for creative people. That's really cool. You can see some of the interesting articles here on Medium that Kickstarter has published, talking about the philosophical disconnect. Like that's all really interesting to me personally. I love shiny gadgets. Like that's what always gets my attention. But it's very easy to make a pledge. So let's go through here. We'll go to and find a project that is kind of on the cusp, and we'll back one of these campaigns just to show you how this is done, right? So this only has 11 pounds, right? And it has about 48 hours to go. So, I mean, I think it's important to support people in such, regardless of if you think you're going to hit their goal or not. Like, if you like something, I think it's worth it to support it. I do think there's a lot of stuff this guy could have done a little bit differently. Just looking at his campaign right here, it doesn't even have a video. Yeah, so there's not as much trust built into this. But we can take a second here. Let's just back this project. What that's going to do, or we can save it if we want to, and we can check it later. You can choose a reward that you want, right? So a logo or name on the website, or $1, you get a peek behind the scenes. We'll just say we're going to get that, and we'll do $1. Shipping destination US, pledge amount $1. So you can increase that if you wanted to, or you can say you don't want a reward. You have some great frequently asked questions here. What can others see about my pledge? What if I want to cancel or change my pledge? You can cancel or change it anytime before that date. So there's a lot of good info here, but we'll just hit continue. If you're interested, you can look into that a little bit more in depth. And once that process is, you can select the card you want. And the important thing also to be notified of is that when you are supporting a project, this isn't like a store, this isn't an online store. This is a creative hub, kind of like you're supporting people. You're an early adopter, So when you support a project, it's your way of not only lending your own like vote of confidence in their direction, but it's also helping them tangibly. But you're kind of also going to be getting the product in the next, 3 months or 2 months, or in some cases, 4 or 5 months, depending on how intensive the creation of the project is. It could be even longer if it's a really intense technology project, right? But that's something to be aware of. Is this isn't like Amazon where you get the product in 2 days. This is supporting a creative process and also the innovation, and also you get something really cool at the end of the day, right? And if you want to, you could tweet out and share this project. So I just supported it for $1. And if you want to, you can also see some of the cool stuff here in the Kickstarter newsletter. So this gives you a really rough idea of just some cool ways that you can discover what's happening on Kickstarter, as well as rather than doing an impulse buy on Amazon or supporting a nonprofit, you can have your impact be tangible and transparent when you're supporting a crowdfunding campaign. It's one of the reasons I'm so freaking passionate about this. And I think it's one of the best inventions ever when it comes to creative types, when it comes to entrepreneurs and inventors. Like, it's just so cool to me. And I think it's really worth some time just to browse around on Kickstarter. But hopefully that helps to give you just a basic overview of how this all works. And there aren't any downsides. Like I said, if you support a project, it only is going to be charged your card if the product is funded. So there's very little downside. And if it's something that you're excited about, why not? Hope you enjoyed this video. Go check out some of the other ones I got out there on my channel, and I will see you next time.